Good morning, beautiful people. I don't know whether I should eat this with a fork or a spoon. I haven't made waffles in probably since the last time I made them in a video, which was probably like a few months ago. But it's getting to that time of year again when I'm still eating a lot of fruit in the morning. Had my cantaloupe first thing, as you saw. And there's a lot of fruit in this bowl as well. But I'm also craving that. I mean, you all know I'm into like bread at the moment. It's just, I went from someone that detested it to someone that has to have it every day or they will pass away. That rhymed. Actually, do you know what? I do have something to tell you about my bread addiction in a minute, but hold on. Yeah, usually when I make waffles, I just make waffles and then pile them high with stuff. But I thought, do you know what? Let's make a beautiful bowl out of it. The protein powder I used for this one was the strawberry and vanilla Perform from Vivo Life, which I'll link down below. I usually use the salted caramel because it's just my absolute favorite. But, especially because I've got a lot of berries going on in this mix, I don't know, the strawberry and vanilla seemed like a fix. That rhymed as well. I'll leave my famous, very famous and basic, it's not famous, but it's a very good, simple 4-ingredient recipe to make the best, perfect, high protein waffles. I'll leave the measurements and ingredients and stuff down below. But basically it's whole grain spelt flour. You can use any flour that you like. I don't know, I love spelt. I love it has like a nutty flavor that I really love. So yeah, spelt flour, oat milk, baking powder, a scoop of the strawberry and vanilla protein. And then I have just gone berries galore. So I've got blackberries, raspberries. Actually, that's pretty much it berry-wise. But I've also got some persimmon, which is just the world's best winter fruit. I don't think anyone can deny that. And if you do want to deny that, then you're gonna have to fight me. A bit harsh, but I feel quite strongly about this. Oh, actually, one thing, hold on. The yogurt that I used for the waffles, is this one from Nush. And I don't usually buy this one purely because I didn't like it the first time I tried it. I think I tried the blueberry one. It's just not as good as coconut yogurt in any way, shape or form. But I wanted to give it another go. So this Nush is made from almonds. I'm pretty sure you know about it in the States. You probably had it there 10 years before we did. But anyway, the ingredients are almond drink, which is filtered water and almonds, raspberry puree, thickener, tapioca starch, carob gum, live vegan cultures. Thing is, right, it sounds pretty good and the texture's pretty nice, but I'm not the biggest fan of the flavor, if I'm being honest. It's alright. It's much better than the blueberry one. That was rank. But good, thick coconut yogurt trumps it every time, but yeah. Thing is with waffles, oh look, now the lights come out. Today, by the way, is one of those days where the sun is doing cartwheels. We've already had rain, I think sleet, sun. I don't know what's next, like a freaking snowstorm or tsunami. But if you see me changing color throughout this video, that's why. I've said this so many times, but my waffle maker is honestly the best investment I've ever made in my life. Slight exaggeration, but it's right up there, along with my air fryer and other things. Purely because, you know, with pancakes, you have to pay attention, you know? You have to fry, you have to shape, you have to, I don't know, you have to put some effort into it, but are we focused? But with a waffle machine, all you do is make the mix, which is pretty much the same as a pancake mix. Pour it in, it's foolproof, and you get these beautiful, crispy waffles. I actually made quite a few. Also smothered with some good salted peanut butter. Peanut butter! You probably thought I was gonna say crunchy because I've been on a massive crunchy kick recently, but back on the smooth. And do you know what, guys? Did my voice just break? Do you know what, guys? I need to eat my words because a few videos ago, or in probably 20 videos since I started this channel, I've always been complaining that you can't find a good cashew butter in this country, but you'd be surprised, one of the like mainstream stores has just come out with what looks to be a very, very good, clean, like not over roasted cashew butter. Gonna review that later. Don't know why I'm talking about it now, just clearly very excited about it. Again, for me, like if I have waffles for breakfast, is it gonna fill me up? Absolutely not. But if I have high protein waffles, it fills me up for hours just because the protein is so satiating, and it also tastes bloody delicious. Because I know some vegan protein powders taste like arse, right? But the Perform range that I use, the flavor is exceptional, and not only that, but the nutritional benefits. Like, I know sometimes I show you the Ritual range, which is more basic, but this one has turmeric, mushrooms, like so much goodness in it, and most importantly, it tastes absolutely incredible. If you're one of those people that has waffles and then you're hungry like an hour or 2 hours later, trust me, bump up the protein, problem solved. Really glad I went with the strawberry and vanilla because this just works. Before we get onto lunch, I've decided I want to finish this yogurt because I don't know why, I find it very difficult to open things and just leave them. So, you know how I've been addicted to bread for a long time, but recently it's just turned into pizza. Specifically sourdough pizza. Like I literally have it multiple times a week. I think I'm going out for the best pizza tonight as well. I think they do sourdough there too. Literally just posted about 7 different photos of me holding a slice of sourdough pizza on my Instagram, which to be honest is quite narcissistic, but cheers. Where did I put the cashew butter? Where did I put the cashew butter? I literally just had the cashew butter. It was just here. I've told you before that this kitchen is haunted. First of all, about the beanie. Do you know what? Sometimes I put the camera on and I think I can get away with such messy hair. When I say messy hair, I mean curly hair that cannot be controlled, and you guys ask me why I don't grow it. And then I watch a bit of the footage back and I'm like, nope, that's gonna get covered up. So now I'm a gnome. But guys, I realized for lunch I'm making quite a light, refreshing, yet obviously very tasty and filling lunch, because I know I'm gonna eat big tonight. And by big, I mean big, like stodgy. You'll see, just like the most incredible food ever. But I was gonna make my peanut butter tofu to go with the colorful salad. But then I thought, no, I've made peanut butter tofu, I've made almond butter tofu. I make tahini crusted tofu all the time, especially with sweet chili sauce. I really wanted to make cashew butter tofu today, but I realized the cashew butter that I've bought is actually for the review. So I thought, let's review it now. I know loads of you always say, like, why don't I just review it? And you can see my facial reaction as well, instead of my just like stupid comments and hands on the screen. But today we have no choice, because this needs to be opened to make the sauce. So basically, right, this is the 100% cashew butter from M&S. It's new, and as you can see as well, it's a nice, like I've said this so many times before, but cashew butter, if you pick one up and it's like dark brown, put it back on the shelf, because that means it's over roasted, it's gonna taste fishy, it's probably rancid. When you find one that's a very light color like this, it means it's more, you know, it's less toasted, it's more raw, it's more pure. God, I'm just full of the rhymes today. Yeah, ingredients 100% cashew nuts, no salt or anything. Cashew nut butter is one of the very few nut butters that doesn't need salt, I've decided. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Guys, I'm in heaven. I'm actually in heaven. Look at the texture of that. Number one, cashew butter is usually extremely thick. Like extremely thick. I mean, this is thick, but it's not like thick. I'm very excited. My facial expressions may not reflect that, but I do have a constant resting bitch face. I am actually very excited in this moment, believe it or not. Yeah, it smells fresh. Cheers. It's good. It's really good. It's really good. M&S is kind of like, it's a bit like Waitrose. Like, for those of you that don't live in the UK, it's like more bougie, higher price. You usually pay like triple or double in there than for the same stuff than you would in other stores. But when it comes to the nut butters, number one, they're all in glass jars, which have to bow down to that. And this is also very cheap. This was only $2.50. I know for peanut butter, that might not be that cheap, but for cashew butter, that is very cheap. This is very random, But all of their gummy sweets in M&S, for those of you that don't know, not that I like eat a ton of gummy sweets, but I do have nephews who I buy candy for sometimes. I know, I'm such a bad uncle. But they've made all of their candy vegan. They've taken all the gelatin out, which I must say has to be applauded, as well as this cashew butter, because it's not gonna last long. But let's make the sauce. Let's just make the fucking sauce, because otherwise I would, like, if the camera wasn't here, I would just sit and spoon, and that would be the end of me. All right, so for the sauce, we need a big blob of cashew butter. This is gonna, don't ask me how much cashew butter you need, because honestly, I just eyeball it. But basically, I just want to thin it with a little bit of coconut aminos. Gonna give it a tiny splash of oat milk just to thin it. You can of course use water. I just don't want to dilute the flavor. I just want to add as much flavor as possible. On goes the sauce. I'm gonna just toss this all over in a minute. There are certain things which forks can't do, and that's why spoons exist, my friends. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna take my ring off before I dive in. Do you know what? I do not understand people who mix food with their hands, which I have no problem with if you're gonna eat it yourself and your hands are clean, but they do it with like all of their rings on, and it does my fucking head in. So I don't get it. Like, what? I just don't get it. Make sure everything is covered in the sauce. Quite a lot of sauce, but you want that because it's going to kind of give it it's not just to flavor it, it's to kind of coat it and crust it so that it actually turns out quite crispy and you'll see. All right, into a hot oven for 20 minutes and we're going to prepare the rest of the salad. These peppers, I know I keep telling you about them, they look like giant chilies, but since I found out about these, I have not bought a regular pepper since because they are just so fucking sweet. And I very, very rarely have a lunch or a salad without them, like very rarely. Better be a good one. Better be a good one. I mean, I have got a backup stash of about 6, just in case, but still better be a good one. Would you look at that? Beautiful. Oh, this is such a buttery one as well. Guys, would you look at that? The thing about this as well is I have such a pungent smell of cashew butter, like all over my kitchen. And I'm not complaining about it, but as you can see, these have crisped up. Absolutely beautiful. It's not just about, because you know how tofu is like a sponge, right? It just absorbs flavor, but in this case, you want to give it something that kind of latches on, you know? Gives it, it's hot. Gives it like a little crispy crust, so you have that crunch element too. Guys, the best part of this is like, at the bottom you get all of the like charred crispy bits of cashew butter that have just kind of cooked up, and it's just like This is a pretty light lunch by my standards anyway. You're also probably thinking, Miles, where's the drizzle of liquid gold? I mean, even though this is supposed to be like cashew butter themed, but let me tell you, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've actually run out of my own stuff. Like, I've run out of liquid gold. The crispiness of this tofu. If everything's a bit yellowy, it's just because I had to turn on my lights, which are crap in here. They're like yellowy lights in here. It's literally 3 o'clock and it's dark outside. It's beyond me. This is the kind of lunch that I would honestly eat like 9 times out of 10. Not the exact same mix, but something, just a lot of fresh veggies, lots of color, lots of flavor, lots of texture, often tofu, but like I said, usually with like peanut butter or almond butter. Sometimes some air fried chickpeas on top. Just very, very simple. Anyway, in this bowl, I've got a bed of mixed greens, also some romaine. You know what I'm like with romaine. Like, I think there's been a few videos where I haven't showed you the consumption of romaine, but it never stopped. Don't ever doubt it. So yeah, leafy greens, romaine, some purple or red cabbage, some of these sweet red bell peppers that look like giant chilies, creamy avocado, and then the cashew butter tofu, which I have to say, this was my first time making it with cashew butter, and also this was the simplest way I made it. It was just coconut aminos and cashew butter, and a splash of oat milk. Usually, again, I'd use things like lime, maple syrup to jazz it up a bit. This doesn't even need it. Cheers. Mate, that flavor. So for dinner, me and some of my closest friends went to one of my favorite vegan spots in London called Perezza. Perezza is an all-vegan Italian restaurant in Camden. They make the most delicious and filling pizzas, as well as a bunch of other really tasty stuff too. I personally don't drink, but I tried a bit of this espresso martini, and all I can say, it was strong. Like strong, for me anyway. We had some delicious nibbles to start with our drinks, and then for mains we had a variety of different pizzas. The one I chose was pesto based, and honestly mate, the flavors were just out of this planet. They also do lighter, more refreshing food if that's what you're in the mood for, such as this pure bowl, which was full of colour and flavour. Speaking of goodness, the garlic bread was 10 out of 10 too, and these cheesy roasted potatoes were interesting. Not my favourite, a little too sickly, you know I've got to be 100% honest, but all of the rest was like top class, like top class. Dessert, of course, and I had a vegan brownie with vanilla ice cream and a thick chocolate drizzle. You all know I'm a harsh brownie critic, but this one hit the spot. Gooey, fudgy, delicious. Anyways guys, as always, I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll see you on the next video. Laters.